Hey, welcome to the Ill Noise Business Playbook. I have here Michelle Baldowsky from Sugar and Spice Creative Custom Creations. I'm sorry, Michelle from Custom Creations. How are you doing today?
That's okay. I'm great. Thank you.
Now,
I'm
the last
excited to be
time
here.
I saw you, we were having a little fun. Can you tell everyone what we were doing?
So we went and we played trivia, which
Yes, we
I'm
did.
terrible at, but my husband did okay at.
Well, I think that's the greatest understatement of all time. I know I told you before we got on here. Your husband was by far the MVP. He was pretty awesome at that. And not that we were going to win anyways, but once you guys had to leave before the end, and you guys stayed almost to the exact end, we didn't get anything. We didn't sniff an answer correct. So we really needed you and your husband there for support. But again, it was a lot of fun. So and it was
It
for
was
a
great.
really beautiful reason too. I think it was for pediatric cancer research and stuff, and really some of the stories we were hearing there, kind of hit you in the feels and stuff like that, and really made you realize who cares if we win this or not? We're there for a good reason, right?
Well, absolutely.
Beautiful. Well, Michelle, once again, thank you so much for being on our show. What I'd love for you to do is tell us about Sugar and Spice. Tell us about your business and tell us about what inspired you to start your business.
All right. Well, Sugar Spice Custom Creations has been officially around since 2020, and we are a candle and bath and body store. So we have a brick and mortar, but it did start out online. And so I created an online following and I wholesale to all 50 states, to other businesses, as well as Canada. So that was really exciting. So when I got to that point, I decided that I wanted to try to open up my own store and see how we did. So I'm very excited to have a store in Algonquin.
And what was it about just the candle field in general? Like what sort of inspired you to want to go in this direction?
Well, over 20 years ago, when my kids were young and I was a stay at home mom, and it was just something fun to do, and it kind of evolved from there. Actually, the internet was very new back then,
Yes.
and I did try to start an online store back then. Just life kind of happens and just went in a different direction, and then just came back to it during COVID.
Excellent, excellent. Now, as a business individual, what sort of challenges have you been dealing with, and how have you been able to overcome some of those challenges as a small business owner?
Online, when I did my online only sales, that was worked very quickly and rapidly and grew very rapidly. So I would say the biggest challenge was really to open the brick and mortar. So it's more of having people find you because they haven't heard of you before, and find where your location is and out into the community. So that's really been my biggest challenge. And really, what's helped me the most is the Chamber of Commerce. They've been wonderful, and just networking. And it's just being a part of the community. And it's such a great community. And I love all the different things that it does. And I like to help the community as much as possible. So that is very much a goal of mine.
Beautiful, and you're already kind of hitting on what the next question is going to be. In order to really run your business effectively, it's all about your customer base, right? It's all about finding customers. It's all about keeping customers. It's all about, you know, trying to put different methods in place to grow that customer base. So you sort of hit it on it with the networking, but if you can share some other examples of ways that you've been able to grow your customer base.
Social media is big. It's really a good use. So I had some of that following, but to get more of the local, that's been very important. And really a goal of mine is to hit that local market. And really it's a lot of word of mouth and area businesses that have been so supportive, and everybody just coming together. And again, that's just back to that networking. And then as far as, you have to know who your demographic is. Who's going to come into your business? Who's going to buy, these candles that look like desserts? And who wants the vegan products and bath and body products? And it's the ones that you have to find those people. You have to find that market and really kind of cater to them. And knowing what they like, knowing what they want. I am huge on having customers come in and say, hey, I love this scent. I would love this in this product, and this product that I already made. So it's very easy for me to do. I love to do that for people. So it's just really working with people, and I'm building their trust. They know they can come to me and they can trust that I'm going to deliver on what I say. I'm also doing, starting to do parties.
Oh,
So we
nice.
can do candle parties. I'm actually going to host a party for 12-year-olds. So we're going to do candles and other bath and body products. I'm really excited. And just corporate events. So kind of that team building. She can do these things, subscription boxes, and just kind of keeping that flow going. And knowing when they come in the store, they're going to find something new.
Right. And is that something where you're just constantly asking people for feedback when they're coming into the store, just to kind of give you, ways in which they maybe you can maximize what exactly they're looking for?
Well, I kind of try to, when I interact with people, they're coming in and they're coming into a 1,200 square foot space. So they're coming into a very small, charming, I'd like to think, area. So I like to communicate with my customers. I'm a talker. And so we just keep talking, and then I just think they feel comfortable telling me. Most of the time they do. Now, some people don't want to be bothered. They just want to shop, look around, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own way. But the ones that do feel open to talking to me, or I ask, is there anything I could help you find? Are you looking for, what scents do you like? So I know where to kind of point them in what direction, because there's so many options that I like to just say, okay, here's what this is, instead of, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed.
Now, in order to be in order to be rather successful, it's wonderful to be more proactive than reactive, right? So, what sort of trends are you forecasting in the future, and then how are you planning on sort of dealing with those trends in the industry?
So we know that, the massive market is Bath and Body Works and Yankee Candles. They've got the market based on this, but they've got 55% of it. And so 30%, and going up every day, are the handmade type creations like ours. So we're really giving them a run for their money on a multi-billion-dollar a year industry. So it's just constantly kind of watching what is going on in the decor. What are people really, what are those trends? What are the colors? Now I'm a little bit more of a niche and I kind of stick in that little realm. But I'm formulating recipes. And so I'm always trying to formulate and work towards what is the current trend. So is the current trend the hyaluronic acid? Okay, so women really like that. So what can we put it in? What products can we give it that's going to give it you that maximum benefit and an affordable price? Because I feel, we have a very quality products, and sustainability is a huge thing right now. And so what I do is, what looks like plastic is really biofilm. So it's recyclable. The containers and packaging that I use, I try my best to make it reusable. So we have that sustainability. I also try to source my ingredients as locally as possible. So I'm traveling out to Franklin Park or Des Plaines, or even some of my things come from Crystal Lake as well. So I make all my products, but those raw ingredients I bring in from as local as possible. So we're kind of closing in that footprint.
That's beautiful. We love the fun stuff. We love the fun stories. We love the heartwarming stories. So, if you could, can you think of a time when you've been working at your business where maybe it was a customer that stood out, or something that you were able to provide somebody that stood out, or it's just one of those stories that just kind of keeps you going, like when you're having a bad day, you're like, what, here's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, because of the smiles and the feels that this person or this situation created. Can you give us an example of something like that?
Absolutely. While I make absolutely no medical claims whatsoever, but the one product I'm very proud of is our magnesium cream. And the story behind that going forward is, my husband does a lot of martial arts, and those guys will buy my products as well. And so there was one guy that bought for his mother, and his mother has Alzheimer's or dementia. I'm not sure which one they classify it as. And she has been in pain and it's just been really hard on them as a family. And her legs and everything are always so sore. So he bought some, he used it on her and said she's never felt so much better, so wonderful. And he was almost in tears telling my husband about it. So that really got to me. I
Yeah,
was so glad. Just one of those things that I make that just made her feel so much better is just, it has made my entire year.
that is wonderful.
Definitely.
That is
Yes.
absolutely
And there
wonderful.
are several stories like that. But as I said, no medical claims whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it
Well,
is one of those clinics.
we'll put that on the bottom of it,
Right.
Michelle. No medical claims with that.
Right.
If people want to get a hold of you, if people want to reach out to you, what are ways that they can do so? And you can certainly include the address of your brick and mortar, your social media things. We'll include it on the bottom as well. But we'd love to have you kind of tout yourself as best as possible.
Absolutely. So, our brick and mortar store is at 2029 East Algonquin Road in Algonquin. Go right through downtown. It's about a block from Lake Cook Road. So, it's very conveniently located as well. And our hours are Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, and Saturdays, 10 to 3. And then you can also go online and shop at sugarandspicecc.net, and that will take you right to my website. Now, my website does not include everything on there. It doesn't include a lot of the candles, so you won't see all the really fancy dessert candles and whatnot on there. But come into our store and you definitely will, and everything is always changing.
Beautiful. Well, Michelle, I thank you so very much for being on the show. I think if people are looking for somebody that's really motivated by what they do every day, it would certainly be very smart for them to visit you and to visit your store and to have you help them feel better about themselves. So thank you so very much, Michelle. I hope you have a great day. And once again, thanks so much for being on the show.
Perfect. Thank you so much. My pleasure.